What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today's gonna be a boat video. We've got to work on it because, well, big news, we just got informed that a wet slip at our marina has opened up and we decided to move the boat from the facility to the wet slip. So right now what we do is we keep our boat stored dry in this facility. And when we want to go on the boat, we can just call ahead and they take the boat from the facility and put it in the water. We can go on the boat, and when we're done, they put it away for us. And it's nice because your boat stays inside. It keeps it out of the sun. It does less damage to the boat. But in the summer, when the marina gets crowded, it gets a little bit harder to get the boat in and out whenever you want to. There's not a lot of room. There's also you can't just sleep on the boat at the marina and plug into shore power or electric and run all of your stuff. So the slip that we have is gonna be right next to the parking lot, so it's quick, easy access from your car. And we're gonna have our own spot for electric, so we can just run electric 24/7, and we just pay the electric bill at the marina. So we have to get this boat ready to stay in the water all the time. So today, the first order of business is we have a small leak in one of the windows on the top. So we've got to get that fixed before we leave it outside in the weather. So if you're not familiar with the channel, this is our boat up here. It's a Bayliner 2855. Overall length is about 30 feet, 30 and a half feet, I believe it is, from the very tip to the very back of the swim platform. So right now we got to get up there. You can see the hatch is open, right up there. So we're gonna try to figure out how to rip it completely out, buy a new one, and install the new one. So let's get up there and see if we can get this thing out. Might be a little bit dark down here. Ugh. All right, so we're up in the front. So we're inside the boat. As you can see, this plastic trim right here has a couple screws in it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I think 8 screws. There's also screws on the top, so we're gonna go out there, and there's screws going down too. So let's try taking this plastic piece out first and see how that goes. All right, so those screws came out fine, but that plastic doesn't want to just like pull out very easily. So I don't want to rip it out because I don't know if there's any screws, maybe when the window comes out. So those screws are out. Let's go on the top, take those screws out, and then just see what happens. All right, so all the screws are out. Next thing we have to do is we're gonna get like a little pry bar or something, see if we can try to get underneath this to start breaking it and popping it open, because there's like an adhesive that goes down before the window gets set down. So let's see if we can start to break this free a little bit. All right, so once these screws are out, what I did was just take some screwdrivers, knives, everything that you probably shouldn't be using. They're like, look at this thing, look at this guy. This thing's from like 1987. Anyway, you just kind of get it under here. Use one of these guys if you got one, try to get this under there, and you're just trying to get all this stuff out. And then eventually it'll start to kind of pop and pry. I'm still kind of ripping on it here. It's starting to pull in really hard. There it goes. All the way to the back. Using one of these guys. All right, so we got this out. Pulling along the back side of the boat. Here's the front of the boat. When you try to pull this hatch out, this ended up breaking and snapping. It has to get replaced anyway, cracked here. So most likely when you take one of these out, if you were just gonna take it out to plan to reseal it, just be prepared that it might break and you're gonna get stuck buying a new one anyway. So next step is I'm gonna get some Goo Gone and some cloth and try to clean this whole edge nice and smooth. So when I put the new sealant down, it'll stick. All right, so it's a new day and we're back at the boat. I don't think I showed you guys, I cleaned up all the glue and the residue around the window. That's clean. We just went to the Marine Service Center in Murrells Inlet, South Carolina. Picked up the new hatch, and it is an exact replica. So let me show you this stuff. All right, so as you can see, this is all completely clean. All the residue's gone, everything's gone. This is the new hatch. That's just protective coating over top of the glass. So we're gonna get, we also got the silicone. So what we're gonna do is silicone all around this. Make sure that we use enough. This will get dropped in. Then the hatch has to be open so we can access the screws. And then we're just gonna screw that all in. And that should be it. All right, so this is the silicone caulk that I used underneath the window. I just got this at like a local marine store. So I put like just a thin bead of this. Well, it wasn't that thin. I put a bead around the entire window and made sure I also got them over the holes where the screws were gonna go. So the screws would go through the caulking into the boat itself. All right, so this is the final product. I ran, like I said, with the caulking, I just ran the caulking all around here, pretty much right over the screw holes. Dropped this in place, and then I just did like a crisscross pattern on installing it. I just did like this screw, then this screw, then this one, and then that one, and then this one, and this one, and so on, and just kept tightening it all down so it went down nice and even. And then I left the hatch up so all the silicone could dry. Because once you screw this down, the silicone starts to squirt out everywhere, so I just kind of like cleaned it up. It was coming out of the screw holes, so I didn't want to close the hatch on the silicone. So I let it dry for about a day, and it's all done. And then the last thing we have to do is just take off all this paper and clean up the glass. All right, so again, that's the final product. It was actually not too difficult. It was just the prep work that was important. Take your time, get all the screws out, clean that up really good, put a lot of caulking down, and then clean up and seal up your mess. And not too bad. So about 500 bucks, I think it was, to replace it, but should have no more leaks, and we got a brand new window. So I hope this video helps somebody out that might be nervous about tackling it themselves, but at least you don't have to pay somebody to come out here and do it. So again, not too bad. If you're thinking about doing a hatch window, do it yourself. It's not bad at all. Hope this video helps somebody. I will talk to you guys later. Peace out, everybody.